Washington Pod presents EARL Nightingale.
I was invited recently to speak to a group of senior citizens. I couldn't make it. I was to be out of the city at that time, but I'm not sure I would have anyway. I can't, for some reason, see human creatures filing like docile sheep into a meeting billed for senior citizens. I find the term categorizing demeaning and patronizing. It's another attempt to use age, chronological age, as a determining factor in fitting people into pigeonholes. When Jack Benny turned 71 years of age, he decided to get an agent to handle his appearance contracts. One agent he approached on the idea felt that Jack was through and was just trying to cling to the business. The agent who did accept the offer, quite delightedly, cashed in to the tune of his commissions on $12 million worth of bookings before Jack Benny died at the age of 80. In the 9 years of his life, from 71 to 80, Jack Benny earned many times over what the average person earns in a lifetime. It gives one pause and raises the question, how old is old? When is a person through earning an excellent income by doing that which he or she most enjoys? In the case of Mr. Benny, a man much loved by all who knew him, his earnings remained at their peak until he died at the age of 80. Unusual case? Not really all that unusual. In the amount earned, yes, few people earn $12 million during their lives, let alone in 9 years. But the people who go right on doing their thing and reaping the rewards of their production until they reach the end of long lives are not all that scarce. The agent who thought Jack Benny was through missed out on perhaps $2 million by underestimating him. I wonder how many other people in our society are considered through at a time of their lives when they're still quite productive. Many of the most productive minds on earth are those of people who will never see 60 again. They don't need defending, and they don't need or want help from anybody. All they want is the freedom to go their own way in peace and to see those people who come up with terms like senior citizen hanging from their necks over barbecue pits. Middle-aged is another one. When will we learn that the passing of a certain number of years has nothing whatever to do with anything at all, unless we've never developed the capacity to think, in which case we welcome such spurious identification, because it gives us the identity we weren't able to find for ourselves. We must separate time from talent and ability. Many people don't reach their peak until they reach 70 or so. Thousands of people have waited until they were 65 to launch an ambitious undertaking of some kind. Writers and other creative people often do their best work after passing 50. Will Durant sold a series of TV programs at the ripe old age of 91. Frank Lloyd Wright created the magnificent Guggenheim Museum at 89. Colonel Harlan Sanders was a comparative spring chicken when he sold the first of his Kentucky Fried franchises. He was in his 60s. And I knew a man who started a brand new business at 65, and before he died, saw it grow into a $300 million empire. How's that for a senior citizen? How about George Burns? What you do after 65 is your business. If you choose to sit on a beach or in the park and listen to your arteries harden, you have that right. Enjoy it. If you're ill and unable to do much of anything, try anyway. It's pretty difficult to incapacitate a human being who still has a mind. He or she will almost always find a way. So from where I sit, down with the term senior citizen. The only thing wrong with it is that it attempts to put miracles in bottles. You don't have to give up at 65. In fact, it can be the starting point of a long, interesting, and extremely rewarding career. It depends on how young your mind remains. That's the part that counts. Maybe I should have made that speech.